So Black Ops 6 is finally here, and it's time for me to give my first impressions on the game. In this video I'll be covering the campaign, the multiplayer, and the zombies. I haven't played the game enough yet to properly review each individual mode, but I have played everything a decent amount so far. Enough to give an initial view into how Black Ops 6 might look, and whether it's worth a shot. So let's waste no more time and get started with Call of Duty's bread and butter, the multiplayer. I have to say so far I'm really enjoying the multiplayer. There's a great amount of content on launch, with a ton of maps. The game is launched with 16 maps, 12 in the traditional multiplayer, and 4 in the face-off playlist. And there's no remasters, which means everything is something we haven't experienced. Unless of course you played the beta. Also on the content side of things, we obviously have much improved progression. Prestige mode is finally back. And whilst I haven't prestiged yet, this is going to make such a huge difference. And for me, it's going to make me want to play the game a lot more. And the longevity of Black Ops 6 is already going to be greater than the last 5 games for me. And Treyarch as a whole have really outdone themselves with this progression, honestly. The prestige is more than I would have expected, to be honest. We've got 10 prestiges with 1,000 levels of master prestige. Tons of rewards. Tons of callbacks to the old games. They've really been playing on that nostalgia, but in a good way in my opinion. There's tons of mastery rewards as well, like the camos obviously. That's gone back to more of a traditional headshot system, which I think is a lot simpler to understand. There's also mastery badges, which allows you to showcase what guns you've been using the most. There's absolutely hundreds of calling cards you can earn, 100%er challenges, Dark Ops challenges. This is what I've been talking about when it comes to long-term progression in Call of Duty, and Treyarch have just hit it out of the park. Having it capped out at level 55 in the last few games has really limited the amount I want to play past the first few weeks, because you usually hit level 55 and there's nothing really else to do. But now, we've got Prestige mode, where you have the choice to enter that next Prestige. You don't have to wait for the next season to come out to enter the next Prestige. You can do it straight away, you can work towards your level, and work towards all the camos, and at the same time, the higher you get up in this system, the more stuff you can showcase to people and show your commitment towards the game, which for me is important in a progression system. The only little gripe I have is that I'd rather there be a separate levelling system for zombies, just because I think it's too easy to play both and get max prestige, and I think I'll probably do it pretty fast using both. But I understand some people don't have the time to juggle both the systems, so it's easier just to centralise it all into one, I guess. The map design feels decent so far. I haven't really played too much, so I can't go in depth on the maps. I haven't had too many matches to really understand all the lanes, all the sight lines, stuff like that. But I would have maybe liked a little bit more variety and maybe a few more large maps in there. You know, obviously they're going for this more small map style because that's all people really play nowadays, so the majority of the maps are small to medium sized. I would have liked a couple in there just that are larger, just to mix up the gameplay variety a bit more, but listen, it's Black Ops, it's always arcadey, it's always going to be fast paced, and it fits that pretty well. There are obviously a few issues with the multiplayer as well. I've seen a lot of visual bugs so far, like sometimes it will say your level's wrong. It will say at the top of the screen, on the top right, it will have one level, and then in the lobby it will say a different level. I've seen a lot of ones where it says people are level 1. There are some connection issues and some rough edges around the game as a whole, and obviously skill-based matchmaking is still here, but if I'm honest, I'm kind of fed up with talking about it at the minute. But on the whole, these are issues that are just with every Call of Duty game and probably will be fixed, so they're not really a huge issue. The core multiplayer experience is good, and I can only see it getting better with time anyways. But Treyarch, if I can ask for one thing, please fix the spawns. Alright, before we get into the zombies, I'm going to quickly skim over the campaign. I've finished the campaign already, so I can give a pretty detailed account of stuff, but I won't go into too many spoilers or anything like that. But from a gameplay perspective, this campaign is just superb. I mean, the mission variety is just excellent, the stealth and action mixed in is brilliant, the set pieces are beautiful. Some of the levels that Treyarch have created here are downright revolutionary. And to be honest, I just can't wait to properly review the campaign and go into detail about some of these levels. But the story, it's not bad, but it's a little confusing. I won't spoil anything, it's a little confusing. I think it will take some time for me to understand it, be able to put it into the context of the rest of the Black Ops universe. Then after that I could probably give a full opinion on how I feel about it. Alright, let's waste no more time and just get into the zombies. I think it's probably the most polarising area of the game so far. A lot of people love it, a lot of people aren't really giving it a chance to love it. So where do I stand? Well, I really like this experience. I think it's a massive step in the right direction. It's a huge improvement on Cold War. Having 2 launch maps is great for content, and it makes the game so much more fun as you bounce between each map. You know, you've got the more casual and simple one in Liberty Falls where you can just hop on and play a quick game, and then you've got Terminus, which is much more detailed and you can really get lost in that map. The one complaint I have, and I know it won't really be a complaint for some people, but as someone who's really invested in zombies and the community as a whole, I feel like the Easter eggs were just a bit too easy to find out. You know, they were both found within the first few hours. I've already done Liberty Falls, which was pretty easy to be honest. I didn't mind Liberty Falls being easy because obviously it's a simpler map. But Terminus, I feel like it definitely could have been a little bit harder. I would have liked maybe over this weekend, like people still hunting for this Easter egg. But that's a complaint that's not really taken away from the map itself. So that's my initial impressions of Black Ops 6. This is definitely a Call of Duty game I'm positive about, it's one I'm looking forward to play this year, and it's one where I'm looking forward to see what they have in store. I'm going to be releasing individual reviews for the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies, so stay tuned. Let me know what you think of the game down in the comments, but I've been Ranger, and this has been Black Ops 6, and my first impression of it.